Alright, Sabres Flyers podcast, early game today. The reason I look like this is because I decided to go biking out in the rain right after the game, so I didn't feel like changing before doing this podcast. Figured this is probably preferable to me doing a podcast naked, so there you have it. Sabres beat the Flyers 5-3, and before I get into the game, I'd just like to say that this bitter media trend has got to stop. I can understand being pissy after your team loses, but let's try and act like professionals and dole out the 3 stars fairly. Thursday's game obviously ended 3-2 in overtime. Carolina media gave Carolina Hurricanes all 3 stars, which I don't care if a team gets outshot 100-2 in a 3-2 overtime game. There's no way one team deserves all 3 stars. Never. And today's game against the Flyers, Stafford got the top star for having a goal, and Timonen and Versteeg got the next 2 stars for Philadelphia. Why Andrej Sekera didn't get a star for his goal and assist, I don't know. Why one of the other, I think, 5 Sabres that had 2 points didn't get a star, I don't know. That's just bitter media, I guess. And in the first, Flyers took a 2-0 lead, and I didn't panic. My first thought, honestly, was like, well, the last time we played them, we took a 2-0 lead, so maybe it's their turn to blow one. And it ended up being true, actually, even though the Flyers out-hit the Sabres 31-16 and won the face-off battle 38-26. Shot totals were pretty even. I thought play was, for the most part, pretty even. I wish there was like a puck possession counter. I think soccer has a possession time stat that they use for these games. That gives a pretty good idea of who's dictating play in the game. And yeah, it was exactly the type of game the team needed, minus falling down 2 goals early to erase some of the memories of the loss to Carolina on Thursday. And as I said the other day, 2 wins or at least 3 points this weekend would do a lot to erase the bad memories from that game, and 2 wins might see the Sabres get into actually the 7th spot if they get a little help. Go right into my 3 stars, which, I mean, obviously I'm a Sabres fan. I only give them to Sabres, so I'm allowed to be a little biased, but I'm going to give the first star to Sekera. Just 8 points in the last 4 games. Looks like a man on fire. Still has that one head-scratcher play every game, but it doesn't seem to be costing the Sabres, and his production on the offensive side is more than making up for that recently. Second star, I'm going to give to everyone that had 2 points. So Tyler Ennis with a goal and an assist, Brad Boyes with 2 assists, Paul Gaustad with 2 assists, nice to see from him. Pominville finally earning praise from me with a goal and an assist and a game winner. And Vanek with 2 assists, setting up the game winner and the first goal of the game as well. And for the third star, I'm going to give it to a guy that made his way back to the lineup, Jordan Leopold. Zeros across the board on the stat sheet until you get to the 6 blocked shots that he had, which led all players on both teams. The next closest guy was actually Jason Pominville and Tim Connolly with 4 apiece. And great effort there by Leopold, not shying away from the puck after coming back from injury. So good on him. My 3 black holes. One of them's going to be really easy because it's the same one I hand out every game. The first black hole, Tim Connolly, no goals, no assists, -1, had a giveaway that resulted in the Flyers' second goal, I believe. Granted, that breakdown was Morrison's fault as well for pinching horribly. But Connolly had a piece in that play and certainly deserves a little bit of blame. Second black hole's got to go to the guy I just mentioned, Shaone Morrisonn. A lot of people want him out of the lineup in favor of Mike Weber, and I didn't see a whole lot tonight to refute those hopes. And the third one, Rob Niedermayer. No goals, no assists. Did have a shot on goal, good for him. But do something, Rob. Do something. Sabres in action tomorrow in Minnesota, 6 p.m. So they have a little bit of extra rest with the early game today before playing Minnesota. I know the Wild were not in action today since they played yesterday, I believe. And they're going to be a little bit more rested than us, but I don't think that's going to matter too much. Everybody's tired this time of the year, so that's certainly not an excuse. And Jonas Enroth has the start tomorrow, from what I hear. So hopefully Lindy Ruff's hunches prove to be beneficial again, and we pick up another win. And the Rangers, Leafs, and Hurricanes continue to suck. And we find ourselves in 7th or 8th place.